Ghana Health Service warns of possible cholera cases in the wake of perennial water shortages and insanitary conditions in Accra if preventive measures are not taken. In business, high interest rates, power outages, water rationing and deficient infrastructure cited as key challenges rendering private sector uncompetitive. And on the international front, ousted Central African Republic president accuses Chad of helping rebels topple him. These and many more updates coming up in Midday Live. Good afternoon. My name is Wendy Lai. Do stay tuned. Start with the first headline story. And Ghana Health Service has warned of possible cholera cases in the wake of perennial water shortages and insanitary conditions in Accra. Our failure to adopt preventive measures would lead to increased infections and probably death, where the service warns, which is the Ghana Health Service has warned about this very issue. And this report is by Sandra Amakwe.
Attitudes such as these are worrying. At Choko, residents said they did not suspect any outbreak of cholera. These children told the news team picking coins in the gutter is a daily routine anytime it rains.
But
the disease control officer at the Ridge Hospital, Lord Pabite, suspects there could be an outbreak of cholera this rainy season if certain preventive measures are not adopted. The Osoklote district, he indicated, had recorded 10 cases since the beginning of the year. He listed Choko, Sodom and Gomorrah, and Abraka, Medina and Kaswa as endemic areas. Obviously, preventing any outbreak will require more efforts from all stakeholders. Lord Pabite fears failure to adopt preventive measures could increase the rate of cholera cases.
Much as they can, they should make sure they heat their foods before eating, or they should eat their food whilst hot. They should also wash their hands very well with soap under running water. They should also make sure they clean their environment and make sure all gutters shouldn't be choked. So in that case, we will be preventing cholera.
The Ghana Medical Association says it has suspended the roadmap which led to the partial withdrawal of services by doctors in the public sector on February 11. The National Executive Council of the Association will meet on April 6 to decide the next line of action. Here's Ibrahim Abubakar's report.
On February 11, 2013, doctors in the public sector withdrew outpatient clinical services in protest against market premium being paid not based on the National Labour Commission award of November 4, 2011, non-payment of conversion difference, and reduced SNIT contributions. Following this, the National Labour Commission directed the Ghana Medical Association and the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission to reach an agreement on modalities of payments of all outstanding arrears based on a decision of the NLC within 2 weeks. A committee to be chaired by the Vice President to see to the resolution of all outstanding post-migration issues of doctors is yet to be formed. The GMA has expressed dismay over the delay and what it termed diversionary tactics that is being employed by the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission.
We've attended meetings upon meetings. We've gone to National almost every Wednesday. Wages and Salaries Commission is taking it serious. For that matter, government not taking it serious. The strike, they send an email the night at 11:30 p.m. on a Sunday that they are setting up a committee to be chaired by Vice President to sort out all the issues single span pay policy for Ghana Medical Association. The letter was dated 8 February this year. you now, nobody has called us for that meeting.
He noted that the outcome of the National Executive Council meeting to be held on April 6 will determine their next line of action.
So we feel that the only language that government wants to understand is a strike, unfortunately. We have not said that we are going on strike today. What we said was that the National Executive Committee or National Executive Council, the Ghana Medical Association, will meet this weekend. It's likely that we will reactivate the suspended roadmap. The date and the form, I cannot say it now.
And as you're aware, by now the University Teachers Association of Ghana are on strike, and they will be meeting the Fair Wage and Salaries Commission today. We're making frantic efforts to reach officials and executives of UTAC to ask them and for them to tell us more on that very meeting they will be having today. But as a follow-up, we'll get to the Ashanti region to speak to one of our correspondents, who is William Evans Nkom. He is at KNUST, which is the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, to tell us what's happening on campus this morning, or what's happening this afternoon. Hello, Evans.
Hello, Wendy.
Now, is the strike really widespread, looking at what you've seen since morning till now?
Yeah, there hasn't been any positive development since yesterday, Wendy, and I can tell you that the students who have been at the receiving end since the strike actually took place yesterday have been expressing various degrees of frustration regarding what is actually happening. And I can tell you some have even started packing to their various houses because to them spending more time on campus without any active work going on to them is an extra cost which is kind of unnecessary to them, so they only have to pack home and then wait until some affirmative action is taken, or they get some affirmative responses from these striking teachers. So that is the situation here at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. The whole place is as calm, as very silent as a cemetery. The students, some of them, I can see a pocket of them actually loitering around. Let me also tell you this. I spoke to the SRC president regarding what they are doing about this. They are kind of the student front, and he also told me that they have been engaging the branch or the regional executives of the UTAC there, or the KNUC chapter of UTAC, to kind of find lasting solutions to that. But they are also saying that they have to speak to the authorities involved, or the regulatory authorities, because they have concerns that they have leveled before them, so they have to address those concerns before they return to lectures. I also called the secretary of UTAC, that is the KNUST branch, and he also told me that they are currently in a meeting at the Flagstaff House to thrash out issues. So if what I'm hearing is anything to go by, we are only hoping that by the close of the day we get some positive or affirmative responses regarding the ongoing strike.
Okay, well, thank you very much, William Evans Nkum. He's one of our Ashanti regional correspondents, and he was giving us an update on the UTAC strike. But like I did say earlier on, we're trying frantically to reach some executives of UTAC to tell us about their meeting with the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission. When we do reach them by phone, we will talk to them. You're still watching Midday Live on TVC, but let's do more on education. And the Aswasi Technical Institute in the Abrase-Bukwaman district of the Central Region lacks infrastructure. Despite the challenges, the institute continues to fulfill its mandates in offering the youth with requisite technical and vocational skills. Thomas Asante has more on the story.
Established in 1917, the Aswasi Technical Institute has produced technicians, engineers and architects. Management is struggling to accommodate the current student enrollment of 1,300, offering vocational courses in agriculture, carpentry, masonry and metal work, among others. There are only 3 bungalows to accommodate teachers on campus. Other structures are in good shape due to proper maintenance. The dining hall put up for 200 students now serves over 900 boarders. School gatherings are held on the basketball pitch since there is no assembly hall. Makeshift structures and workshops litter the compound. Access road to the school was poor. Meanwhile, a 6-unit emergency classroom block initiated 3 years ago has been abandoned. On its 95th anniversary, the principal, Joshua Sego, appealed to government to resume work on Get Fund and other projects. A PTA-funded dormitory block for the girls was inaugurated by the former director of the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, Professor Kwabena Frimpong Boateng, who asked government to meet the needs of teachers. In a speech read on behalf of the Education Minister, she said government had assured an Israeli and Canadian support to upgrade 29 newly absorbed technical institutes and rehabilitate 10 existing ones.
And Education Minister Professor Jane Nana Opoku-Agyeman has tasked teachers to access subject teaching websites on the internet to gain more knowledge. She made the call in a speech read on her behalf at the launch of an ICT integrate program at Salt Pond in the Central Region.
"134 teachers attended the program aimed at equipping participants with the knowledge to integrate ICT into teaching and learning of mathematics, integrated science and English. It is also to strengthen communications within the education sector and facilitate preparation of technology-enhanced curriculum materials." The sector minister, in a speech read on her behalf, cautioned teachers against indulging in cyber misconduct and urged them to monitor students whilst they surf on the net. The USAID Deputy Director of Missions, Andrew Scaras, said USAID was working with Vodafone to install internet upgrades in 400 senior high schools throughout the country. The $1.79 million program was funded by USAID. Meanwhile, the 1988-year group of the Holy Child Senior High School have funded and inaugurated a 63,000 cedi ICT center for the school in Cape Coast. The inauguration coincided with the 67th open and prize-giving day of the school. The headmistress, Reverend Sister Josephine Anto, mentioned encroachments of the school's lands and inadequate transport and accommodation for staff among the challenges confronting the school.
In some other news, several people are reported dead after a Benz passenger bus with registration number GS518412 was run into by a 207 car this dawn at the Dabala Junction on the Sogakope Aplau Road. An eyewitness, Daniel Tete, could not tell the exact cause of the accident but indicated many more also sustained injuries. We're doing our best to bring you that visual of this very accident, but we'll do that in our subsequent bulletins. Back to the Central Region, and the fourth in a series of a fora intended to sensitize and educate the public on proper land use and administration has been held at Salt Pond. It forms part of the land administration project, which seeks to enhance land tenure security and develop sustainable land use system.
Numerous challenges constrain the smooth administration of the land sector. Major among them are insecurity of tenure, overlapping functions of multiple agencies, many laws on land, inaccurate record keeping, and fraud. Government established the LAP project as an intervention to address these challenges. The Central Regional Lands Officer, Yawa Boajiche, briefed participants, mostly traditional authorities, on proper channels for land title registration. He said the most significant outcome of the LAP project was the reduced delivery time to 4 months, whilst key objectives is to work towards developing a one-stop shop.
Because most of your assassin cases are caught in or in some way that woman watch na bokon for you no bokon and employee papers na assassin so you papers because you employ fine documents and 200 also about in the basis fee documents are in to say in an army as really is and commands man so in our boko.
And more online proliferation of illegal sand winners have begun to punctuate the rural landscape of Midday Junction in the Upper West Achim district of the Eastern region. Daniel Latte has been asking the various stakeholders why they keep engaging in an activity that endangers their environment.
With unemployment rife, many in West Achim have resorted to a new way to make a living. Landowners give out their lands to sand winners to make enough money to feed their families. The sand is sold to the construction industry. Moro Amidou and Yao Jaban truck drivers can prove the connection between acquisition of licenses from the District Assembly and the Mines Department.
Somebody has his license to work. Me, I come to buy the sand. So when I buy the sand, I pay you. So if you finish, you have to level the land for the owner. So I cannot go and level the land.
Before the contractor will come and work. To me, I think they have already been authorized before they will go to the land. So I don't see the reason why they have been harassing us all over.
The practice, however, leaves behind safety and environmental pitfalls. Aside the deep craters that collect rainwater, which turn into breeding grounds for mosquitoes, there is a severe impact on vegetative cover of the area, which has become depleted. Roads have become inaccessible, and farmlands have been destroyed in the process. And for residents at the Dukrom, who prefer not to be named, they are convinced this is equally hazardous to their health.
The dust can affect my health. This is the only land we have.
Poverty and unemployment are the major contributors to the sand-winning canker. Yet communities whose lands are degraded do not benefit from the project. They look on as the resources conveyed to the cities for most construction works, whereas access to basic social amenities in their community remained a challenge. Several coconut trees, whose fruit could serve as a thriving business for the young men in the village, are destroyed. With the extent of damage to the topsoil and vegetation at Edukrom, the news team quickly alerted the district chief executive of the area, who upon arrival ordered an immediate halt to these activities.
I'm giving you the next 10 minutes. If he says he's got it, he should bring the permit for me to say that. Or you stop work right now. I am stopping your work, okay? If you don't want me to confiscate your engines, you just come and show me your permit.
Now that you are aware that this is what they do, what are the measures you are going to put in place to make sure that you stop this activity from reoccurring?
When you don't have the men, you need security men. We are making headway. Had it not been that, I know they would have destroyed our area by now.
This, however, did not stop the sand winners from moving a kilometer ahead to start another havoc. With 2 payloaders, they wrecked farmlands and the vegetative greenery.
One man cash hey nana de adaga na ade yadu ya sei na adaga asemuni anu jo fa mo fra hin wo fa ko se wonsu kra anu ma si kwa yin so ase me bumi ne ma be so da be ah.
Samuel Odoichawe is one of the contractors. He insists that sand winning remains the only way for them to feed their families.
This is a way we job. We're gonna go on fishing. We come out of the bush. We work. Some my colleagues they get money to feed their relative, whatever it is at home.
Reclaiming the land is, however, not an option to these contractors. A police patrol team, which refused to speak on camera, said they were there to protect the sand winners from robbers and physical attacks, but added that they had been unsuccessful in deterring the illegal miners. It is apparent authorities also have no clear action for sand extraction in the area. A course of action is needed after years of efforts by the community to reduce the crushing poverty caused by illegal sand winning.
So the story just watched was aired on TV3 last weekend. As a follow-up, we do have the DC for the Upper West Achim District, Ohene Sifu Bekwing, on the line. Good afternoon, sir. Thanks for your time.
Good afternoon.
And now you stopped them and then they moved to another area, which is just a kilometer away, to start the sand winning activity there. Now, what is preventing you from stopping this activity totally?
Thank you very much. Sun winning activity has been a problem to us, and we've been fighting this canker since. There's no way we are going to allow them. Even yesterday, as I speak to you, we had to move to side. The problem now is those sun winners will come at dawn, they will come at night, they will come in the day. And it needs a sort of collaborative effort to get them stopped this activity in the area. As I speak to you, I've summoned my commanders, I'm at the region now speaking to my security bosses. There should be a way to stop these people, and the only way I think we can do this is to prosecute them, because it's been a source of their livelihood, and they do this by any means that they feel is possible to them, most often illegally, and that is what we are stopping. If you look at the nature of the operations and the harm that it causes to the people, it brings poverty, it brings diseases, and the sanguiners will not stop. Even they want to come in without permits. So the major plan that we have at the moment is to bring all collaborative efforts together so that we can arrest and prosecute them. We've started, and as I speak to you, it's going to be on course. But since they've lost their land at Amasamai and in some of those places, they see Upper West Akim district as one of the virgin areas that they can come mining their activities. But I can assure you, this activity is going to stop. We are on them, and we know they are one of the most difficult people to handle. But I can assure you, let me use this medium to inform all those sun winners coming to the area, that we are going to arrest them and we are going to prosecute them. Normally, when you come and you drive them off, before you turn, they will be there. If you don't take time, you're going to use all your office hours, all your manpower to police the site. Now, and we can't keep on doing this.
Mr. Okwe, when exactly are you going to do this arrest and prosecution? Because initially you did drive them away, and then they moved to another place, and information reaching us that they're really on a rampage there. What is the clear-cut line or plan that you have for this very activity to end? Is the plan to drive them out or totally stop sand winning in Upper West Achim?
It is sand winning activity. It's passed by law. They have to go to the Minerals Commission. It has to come to the assembly for advertisement. They have to get a permit before they come into operation. But they are not doing that. And all that you want to do is to send them out. But without prosecution, I tell you, I'm going to come back. I had a meeting with my police officer yesterday in the office. Today, as I speak, I'm in Koforia to inform the authorities with the police commanders in Isawam and Esamankasi. We are going to start prosecuting them.
When exactly?
Yeah. I tell you, as I speak now, anybody that is arrested from today, we gave the last one yesterday by driving them out, but I know they are going to come today. So as I speak to you now, a team is set. We are going to put a task force in place, and when they are arrested this time, we are going to prosecute them. So let the big bosses, some people will call wanting their release, say I'm this and that. It's not going to happen in that district. So we can assure you, by the next week when you come in, if they want to face the rigors of the law, yes, then they can come in. Because it's not just going to be a matter of driving them out and they sneak in again. No, they are going to face prosecution. But so if they meet the judges, then they can decide to do whatever they want to do.
But is there any instance where some of these sand winners do have certification or even have receipts from the district assembly? According to our reporter, yes, some of them did prove that they do have receipts and do pay tax to the district assembly.
You know what? They are actually missing the whole thing. We have the process in place at the assembly. If you want to operate in the assembly, no matter what form of business you want to operate within the catchment of the district, you have to register with this assembly. Then we give you a business operation form. It is a certification that shows you are dealing with that, or you are. That is not a license for you to go and mine or work illegally. It is left to you, the operator, to work within the sort of business that you are doing to get the legitimate papers that allows you to work.
And so do they have this understanding?
They are just confusing themselves.
Do they have this understanding?
Yeah, they know this.
Others might argue that why has it taken the district assembly this long to take action?
Anyone who tells you we don't want to take action, he doesn't know what we are doing.
But hasn't it taken too long?
The forms. Hello?
Hasn't it taken too long?
It's not. We've been successful. They will leave for some time. What happens is we are able to keep their operations for about a month or two, then they will come back. But don't forget, we are a new assembly. We just, by LI 2046, came in by June. You say, I came to office in July and in November, and I can tell you we've made progress. Had it not been that, the place would have been destroyed by now. We are making progress. yes, they will go and come. But I think that the final way to take is to prosecute them. When you prosecute them and they face the law courts and they have their whatever trials over there, I don't think they'll be coming back. And that's actually what we're going to start now. Yes.
And before I let you go, how far have they succeeded in destroying the land, and what measures do you have in place to reclaim these lands?
One of the major problems, even when they have the permits to operate, is reclamation, where they have to reclaim the land. But they don't do. But as I speak, they've now moved to the borders of our district and that of in Sangwon, where before you move in, you'll be out of the area. Okay, we put measures in place. It's not as rampant as it used to be. Now it's come to the borders of Upper West Akim and in Sangwon Dwajui municipality. Yeah, so we know when we get them out of that boundary, maybe they have to move elsewhere, but not in our place. We've made headway. It used to be very, very, very bad in the district, but because of measures that we put in place by following, I've been there at times at 12 a.m. to lead a team to drive them out. You see, and
would you say the extent of destroying the environment is that bad?
I would say the situation is not bad as it used to be initially when I took office. It has improved. Yes, but we want to make more progress and stop this illegal sand winning activity in the district.
All right, well, thank you very much, Ohini Esifo Bekwin. He's the DC Upper West Achim District, and we're looking at sand winning. We will be following this particular story to update our viewers on that very issue that has to do with sand winning in the Upper West Achim District. You're still watching Midday Live on TV3. The Ghana Immigration Service says it has put in place stringent measures to ensure sanity is maintained in its activities. Head of Public Affairs Francis Palmdetti insists with the implementation of its effective monitoring mechanism, more logistical inputs will help boost their efforts.
Several cases of illegal mining activities have been reported lately. The Immigration Service embarked on a nationwide operation to arrest 125 foreigners engaged in illegal mining. Head of Public Affairs Francis Palmdetti said the illegal miners arrested have been granted bail and arrangements are being made to get them repatriated.
Some people are upset, obviously, because their businesses are being curtailed by the arrest. But we know it is natural. It's a natural reaction. But as an institution, we don't go out frustrating people. Our intention is to ensure that the laws are properly enforced. We have lots of investors in this country, both Chinese and other nationalities. They have no problem with GIS. In fact, there are times when we receive tip-offs from them, from their own communities, because some actions of their counterparts may tarnish their good image.
In its efforts to tighten its security, the GIS says its collaboration with the airlines has so far been successful.
With the collaboration we have with the airlines, they now call us to verify the visas that travelers are coming with, especially the visas on arrival. And we have detected over 120 of such visas that are fake. And it's because of this collaboration that these individuals were unable to even board a flight, let alone enter the country.
Despite its efforts in putting in place mechanisms to effectively monitor its activities at the borders, inadequate logistics still affects the output.
We don't have weapons, and we think that national saboteurs and nation wreckers may wish to take advantage of our not wielding weapons to maybe use the borders. But so far, I'll say that our men have been very gallant in doing their job.
Remember, you can always get interactive on Facebook and Twitter's News on TV3 or short code 1734. Send your comments on stories you do watch on Midday Live. But on our Facebook page, there's a question there. What can Ghana learn from Kenyan Supreme Court in the peaceful resolution of their election dispute case? And the number of comments here. This Kof Adomkovi says that we'll learn to try and make peace. That is all we need. Haruna says justice. And then also Tom Jaggi says that acceptance and respect for the rule of law. Well, you can also add your comments aside the question we have on our Facebook page on the stories you watch on Midday Live. Next is, what do you think? President John Dramani Mahama filed his tax returns yesterday and called on all Ghanaians to do so. We're finding out from you what you think of this very step by the president.
If he has some other businesses aside what is owned by the state, then he has to pay taxes for that. So I think it's a good thing.
Ghana's main revenue comes from the tax revenue. So if all Ghanaians are willing to pay their taxes, and I think the government can do something better for the country.
For the father of the nation to do that for us, to all see that this is what he's doing, it's good. So for us also to just take our steps from there and do the right thing.
Right, so after Wendy Lai giving us all the local updates, it's now time for us to do some business. Very good afternoon and thanks for joining us. My name is Nani Kiasari. Let's just quickly get the detail for Midday. Governance experts have lauded President Mahama for filing his tax returns, describing it as a symbolic gesture. Now, the move, according to them, demonstrates leadership by example and should encourage public office holders and all Ghanaians in general to honor their tax obligations.
It is important because he's using himself as an example for especially others to conform to the constitutional demands. The beauty of this is that he's done it in public. He's declared it, allow media to be party up to it, so that it sends signals to people within that category and any other individual in the country to conform to the obligation.
The president may be demonstrating a certain leadership by example and showing that while as president and while he can pretty much get away with not paying taxes, not forgetting the fact that this actually creates a controversy. Some people not even being sure whether it's an area that could attract taxation. The president just wants to show that in spite of all these things, he could subject himself or submit himself to the tax liability of the state by ensuring that actually properties that he sells or properties that or money that he gains, which is outside of his office as president, he ensures that he meets his tax requirement or liability. I think it's a symbolic gesture.
They urged other public office holders to follow the president's example.
Mahama has initiated a pace. He's done a good thing, but what happens to other members that have been mentioned by the constitution? Or does it mean that the president filing his tax returns compensate for all others that have been mentioned here? That's not it. So what do we do as a country? Not showing only appreciation to the president doing a good thing, but all other people who have been mentioned by the constitution to follow suit.
There are many people who ought to pay taxes who are not paying taxes, and I think that we should go beyond urging them. And the president having demonstrated himself, that he could show leadership example on this particular issue, I would even call that the president may want to consider us, taking the whole question of tax justice and putting it into perspective. Do we still have to continue the situation of a few people paying taxes and the vast majority of people not paying taxes? Maybe we should start thinking of the possibility of nobody paying income tax, so that we rather spread and rather widen the tax net.
Right, so you have the governance experts also telling us why it is important for each and every Ghanaian to file his or her tax return. Well, let's still stay on businesses in the country. This coming from the director of the private sector. High interest rates, power outages and water rationing and deficient infrastructure have been cited as key challenges crippling businesses here in the country. These experts say have rendered the private sector uncompetitive and virtually unprofitable.
The 1992 Constitution mandates the private sector to afford ample opportunity for individual initiative and creativity in economic activities, as well as fostering an enabling environment for national development. Experts argue policies that will create an enable business environment is absent. the status of the Private Enterprise Foundation, a private sector leadership, has been changed to a federation to reflect its mandate to influence government policy direction for an improved investment climate. Chief Executive Officer of the Federation, Nana Bonsu, outlined the new role. Representatives from the Ministries of State for Private Sector Development and the Trade and Industry stressed government's resolve to join forces with the Federation in addressing challenges confronting the sector.
And wrapping up on business this afternoon with energy experts want government to use biofuel to address the country's energy shortfall. They contend sufficient research has been conducted, hence the need for government to explore the renewable form of energy.
The future of biofuel as a sustainable source of energy is largely dependent on available plant biomass that is composed of cellulose. Experts believe the integration of jatropha, production of glycerol and algae will all come in handy as biofuels. The African, Caribbean and Pacific Group of States Science and Technology Program aims at bringing together academia and researchers to deliberate on the promotion of second-generation biofuels in Africa.
Capacity exists in Ghana, because in terms of having those who can identify the right species in terms of microalgae, which we can grow to be able to produce the energy. We have research institutions, we have the universities who are training people and carrying out the research, so that exists.
In as much as these researches have been made by Ghanaian scientists for consideration by policymakers, what remains is the country's preparedness to go biofuel.
Biofuels in Ghana have got an enormous role to play. There are a number of research initiatives and research organizations in Ghana that can really help to drive forward research and innovation on behalf of the country in the area of bioenergy. What's absolutely crucial to get progress in this area is to drive research and innovation forward in such a way that the price and cost of biofuel is reduced dramatically.
Some 580 million people in Africa are living without electricity supply. The number is expected to increase to over 690 million by 2013, according to the ACP research scientist.
Alright, so for more business updates, you can just log on to www.tv3news.com. You get more updates, but later at 4:30, we'll be giving you more updates on the commodity market as well as the forex markets. That'll be it for this afternoon. I'm Nani Kesari. Joel is up next with sports.
This afternoon, let's start the story with the Ayew brothers. And Ghana legend Abedi Pele says talks are underway for his two sons Jordan and Andre Dede Ayew to return to the Black Stars following their retirement from the national team.